Hello everyone. Today we're going to be making this crochet leaf sprout. This has become popular in the recent year or so, and a lot of youngsters like putting this on their headsets. Now, this one I'm making has stretchy yarn, because you see this headset does have a wide band. Some do not have such a wide band. You can also use this for a cable tie or make it a bookmark. So this yarn that I'm using is called Free Easy Far. I either got it at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or maybe on Amazon. But it does not have a color name, but it is great for beginners. It's a cotton blend. So this yarn is not your typical yarn. It's more like a type of material, so it doesn't really fray. I am using a 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. There's the close-up. And you're going to need a pair of scissors and a blunt wide-eyed needle and some stitch markers. So I'm going to be putting my yarn in this cute little yarn bowl that I found. You see where it's got the different size holes you can use as well. So let's get started on making this cute little leaf sprout. All right, first we're going to make a slip knot, and I just wrap the yarn around my finger twice. I've got my tail to the right side, and I just take that piece of yarn in the back and bring it over, and then bring that piece over. Slip my hook inside and just tighten it up a bit. And chain 10 by grabbing the yarn and pulling it through the loop on the hook. That's 1, 2, 3. Got 3 so far. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Step 1, we are going to make the first leaf. We are going to do a single crochet in the second chain from the hook. That's 1, that's 2. Insert your hook into that second chain, grab your yarn and bring it through. And grab your yarn and bring it through the 2 loops on the hook. That is your single crochet. We can put a stitch marker in the top of that. So now I'm just going to take my stitch marker and I'm going to put it under both pieces of yarn of the top of that single crochet that we just made. Now we're going to do a half double crochet and 2 double crochets. So we're going to go into the next stitch and we're going to grab our yarn, go into that stitch, grab the yarn again, bring it back through, grab your yarn again, and pull it through all 3 loops on the hook. And now we're going to go into the next stitch and do a double crochet. Grab your yarn, go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, bring it back through, grab your yarn, go through 2 loops on the hook, grab the yarn, go through the last 2 loops on the hook. I'm going to do that one more time. Grab your yarn, go into the stitch, grab your yarn, bring it back through, grab your yarn, go through 2 loops on the hook, grab your yarn and go through the remaining 2 loops on the hook. Now we're going to continue on. Now we're going to do a triple crochet. We wrap the yarn around the hook twice. We go into the next stitch. We grab the yarn again and bring it back through. Grab the yarn again, pull it through 2 loops on the hook, grab the yarn again, pull through 2 loops on the hook, and grab the yarn and go through the last 2 loops on the hook. There's your triple crochet. Now we're going to go into the next 2 and do doubles. Grab your yarn, go into the stitch, grab your yarn, come back through, grab your yarn, go through 2 loops, grab your yarn, go through 2. There's your first double crochet. Do it again. Here's the second double crochet. Then we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch. So we're going to pull up our yarn, go into the next stitch, pull up our yarn, bring it back through, pull up the yarn and go through all 3 loops on the hook. And this is going to be your half double crochet. So what we've done is we started with a single crochet right here. We did a half double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochets, a triple double crochet, 2 double crochets, and a half double crochet. Now we're going to go into the last stitch. It looks like there's 2 stitches left, but that first one is your slip knot. So we're going to do a single crochet, a chain 1, and a single crochet in the last stitch. So go into that stitch, grab your yarn, bring it through, grab your yarn and go through the 2 loops on the hook. There's a single crochet, do a chain 1, go back into that stitch, grab your yarn, bring it through, grab your yarn, go through the 2 loops. There's your single crochet. Now we're going to turn our work, now that we've finished the first side for the first half of the leaf. And you want to turn your work. And we're going to go ahead and start stitching under these little lines, little bars, whatever you want to call them. Make sure you go into the right stitch. And we're going to start off with a half double crochet. You grab your yarn, you go into the stitch, grab your yarn, bring it back through, grab your yarn, go through all 3 loops on the hook. Now we're going to do a double crochet, just like we did before. And we'll do another double crochet. Grab your yarn, go into the stitch, grab your yarn and come back through, grab your yarn, go through 2, and grab your yarn and go through 2. And then we're going to do our triple crochet. Wrap the yarn twice, go into the stitch, grab your yarn, come back through, grab your yarn, go through 2, grab your yarn, go through 2, and grab your yarn and go through the last 2 loops on the hook. Then we're going to do 2 more double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So here's our double crochet in the next stitch, and then 1 more double crochet in the next stitch. And then we're going to do our half double crochet. Pull up the yarn, go into the stitch, pull up the yarn, come back through, pull up the yarn and go through all 3 loops. And then the next stitch is going to be a single crochet. Put the hook in the yarn in the stitch, pull up the loop, and go through 2. All right, so now we are going to do, what we should do is a slip stitch under the first single crochet on the other side, but I'm doing a single crochet. So I'm going to take out the stitch marker, And I'm going to do a single crochet into that first single crochet on the previous side, but you can do a slip stitch. That's actually what the directions call for. And now we're going to do a chain 1. Okay, so we already have one chain 1, and we're going to do 10 more. So we'll have 11. And then I'm going to put a stitch marker into that very first chain. So I've got 10 plus 1. All right, so I'm putting a stitch marker in that first chain 1, and you'll see why in just a little bit. And now we're going to go ahead and repeat steps 1 and 2. We're going to start off with our single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So go ahead and do your single crochet in that second chain, 1, 2. And I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in the top of that single crochet. All right, now we're going to do our half double crochet in the next stitch. Put your hook in, grab the yarn, come through, grab the yarn, go through all 3 on the loop. And then we'll do a double crochet in the next 2 stitches. Grab your yarn, go into the chain, grab your yarn, come back through, go through 2 and go through 2. And the second double crochet. Okay, and now we're going to do our triple crochet. Wrap around twice, go into the stitch, pull up the yarn, come back through, pull up the yarn, go through 2, pull up the yarn, go through 2, and pull up the yarn and go through the last 2. Okay, now we're going to do 2 double crochets again. Here's the first one. And the second one. And then we're going to do a half double crochet. So we're doing a half double crochet. And in the last stitch of that row, we're going to do a single crochet and a chain 1 and a single crochet. So here's your single crochet. And your chain 1 and your single crochet. So I'm just going to turn my work and work down the other side. Okay, so we've turned our work. We do not want to go into that gap there. We want to go under that piece of yarn right there. So bring up your yarn, go under that piece of yarn there. If I can get under there, and grab your yarn, come back through, grab your yarn and pull it through all 3 loops. There's your half double crochet. Now we're doing our 2 double crochets, 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. Here's the first one. Grab the yarn, go into the stitch, grab the yarn, come back through, grab the yarn, go through 2, and grab the yarn and go through 2. So now we've done 2 double crochets. Now we're going to do our triple crochet. Wrap around twice, go into the stitch, bring the yarn back through, pull through 2, grab the yarn, pull through 2, and grab the yarn and pull through 2. Now we're going to do 2 double crochets. Here's the first one. And the next one. Bring up the yarn, go into the stitch, bring up the yarn, come back through, go through 2, and go through 2. Now we're going to do the half double crochet. And then a single crochet into that next stitch. Just put your hook into under that piece of yarn, grab the yarn, pull it through 2. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our work and do a slip stitch into that first single crochet from the previous side. And I'll have to take my stitch marker out. And this is where I messed up on the first leaf. I did a single crochet, but you just do a slip stitch. Just go under that stitch, pull the yarn through, and then just pull it through the loop that was on the hook. And then you're going to go ahead and do your chain 1. And there's your chain 1. Okay, so now we're going to work on our leaf vein. Now, if you feel like your leaves have gotten twisted, you don't know the front from the back, that's the back. The front has the V-shaped stitches around the edging, so that's the front. And we're going to go ahead and make our vein down the middle. So you see these holes that are sort of in the middle of the leaf. This is where we're going to be putting our hook in these holes, and we're just going to be slip stitching all the way down the middle. So we're going to start right in here, and we're just going to take our hook and put it into that hole, grab our yarn, pull it through, and pull it through the loop on the hook. And then we just go into the next hole and pull it through. And you just want to continue that all the way across to the end. Again, I put it into the middle. It's kind of at the bottom of each stitch. And just pull it through. So I want you to continue doing that. So now we've come up to our stitch marker where we did that chain 1 of the 11. Remember, I did the chain 1 and then we did 10 chains, and I said I would tell you why. So we take that stitch marker out and we're going to do a single crochet into that chain. So go ahead and do a single crochet right there, and you see the vein that we did, how it's going to look. We're not going to do the other leaf yet. We will be doing that in just a sec. Now we are going to chain 40, and I'll just do a few of them. I'm going to go ahead and put a stitch marker in that first chain just to mark it, and go ahead and continue on. I'll do a couple of more chains and just keep going until you have 40. Okay, once you've reached 40 chains, you're going to count 15 chains from the hook and do a slip stitch in the 15th chain. So I'm counting, getting to my 15th chain, and just go ahead and do a slip stitch. I'll put the hook right in there and grab the yarn and pull it through, and then pull it through the loop on the hook. Now we've got our little loop here, and we are going to do a slip stitch in each chain all the way back to the 2 leaves. So you just go into each chain and do a slip stitch. That's all you have to do. Just do this all the way back. And I'm going to meet you at the end. So now we're back to that first chain 1 of the 40, and I'm just going to go ahead and take out the stitch marker and do my last slip stitch, which will bring us back to the center of the 2 leaves. And you want to go ahead and just go ahead into that chain 1 in the middle and just do a slip stitch in there, just bringing the 2 leaves together. And then we will make the vein in the other leaf. So you just do this leaf vein like you did the other one, and I'll start it and then I will speed up the video. All right, so I've come to the end of the leaf, and I'm just going to go into that last one, that last little hole right there, pull it through, and then do a chain 1 at the very end to kind of help create a point. And then we're going to cut this off and weave in the ends. So I cut off the yarn, cut the end off, and I'm just going to thread my needle and just kind of show you how to weave in the ends if you don't already know how to do this. So you just kind of find a spot close by and you just kind of go underneath the yarn. I try to make sure it's not showing through on the other side. And you just kind of want to weave through a couple pieces of yarn, and then you're going to go back the other way. I'm pushing that through, and then I'll come back the other way. I'm going to go under a couple more first before I go back the other way. And with this yarn, you don't want to try to go in the middle because I think there's some type of stuffing in the middle of this yarn, and you don't want to go through the middle piece of the yarn. And then I'm just going to go back the other way. And maybe one more time this way. Usually 3 times is enough. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut that at the base. And you want to do that with the other piece as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around the headphones. This is stretchy yarn. I'm trying to make sure it gets in the camera view. Sorry for the angle here. And I'm just going to wrap it around twice. It does stretch. and put one leaf in through that loop, and then just bring it over and get the other leaf and put that through, and that'll hold it in place. And there you have it, your little sprout for your headphones.